Right folks, I think it's time to get back out and do some photography. Well folks, I'm a bit rusty at this, I tell you. I was all in a muddle there, trying to get set up with a shot and dealing with the video. I've come up to a place that is very familiar to me. I bring workshop clients up here quite a lot, although every time I do, I always say to myself, I need to actually come back up here and do some shooting for myself. So that's what we're doing tonight. Nice easy start back into doing the photography. Sorry it's been a little bit longer of a break than I'd planned, but if you see my last video, such is life. But anyway, all positive tonight, and got some lovely conditions. It's been a bit wet today, but it has started to clear this afternoon, and I think I've got a little window of opportunity, so let's hope we can take advantage. Okay, we've made it up here. I was just giving those cows down there a little bit of a wide berth, because even though normally when there's a bull there and there's plenty of cows around, they're usually pretty docile. I had a bad experience with a bull a few years ago across the Coffin route above Lowes Water, where same thing, a lot of cows and calves around and a bull lying down. And normally they're pretty docile, but this thing reared up and decided to give me a, well, I wouldn't say a chase, but it let it known to me that it didn't want me there. So whenever I come across that situation, I'll usually try and give them a wide berth. You don't want to upset them when they've got young calves around. Anyway, what a grand evening it's turning out to be. Really good to be back out. I've really missed doing this. I've come up to the Chewett Tarn area, and I wanted to do something that, well, one was just a nice sort of gentle transition back into the photography, but also this particular spot that I'm shooting from has actually been on my list for a little while. It's one that I bring workshop clients to quite a lot because of just the sheer variety of different images you can make from here at different focal lengths. But one of the problems with doing the workshops up here is that I don't get to take many pictures myself. So the last one I was on, I vowed I would try and get back up here when the autumn colour starts to come out and see if I can get something for myself. So this shoot's going to be a bit of a quicker one, just a shortish video tonight, just to get back into it. But yeah, what a lovely evening. Autumn feels a little early to me. I don't know about you, but up here the colour definitely feels a little earlier. I don't know whether it's because we've generally had a milder autumn, but last year for sure it was a lot greener at this stage, but there's already quite a lot of sort of light yellow about, which is lovely to see. I'm hoping for a good autumn. It'd be nice because we don't really get many good autumns in the UK these days. Although I've come out tonight and it's pretty warm. It's well, it's that time of year, isn't it, where you come out dressed for all four seasons, it seems. But I'm just going to have a little scout around here to see if I can get a few more alternatives in case I need to move quickly. So I'll catch up with you in a bit when I've had a little look about. So just while I'm waiting for this light to pop out, I thought I'd just talk you through this composition that I've got set up, because as I was saying earlier, I've been up here loads of times with workshops, and for the life of me I don't know why I've not shot this composition before, because I think it works really well. Now the conditions we've got tonight, absolutely A1 for the shot that I had in mind. Looking across the Blencathra at the minute, we've got this lovely moody dark cloud above the mountain which is just sitting there, and it's ideally placed because the side light that we're getting, because of that dark cloud, it's really improving the contrast and the colour when it pops out. That's really key, because if we didn't have that cloud over there, the colours wouldn't pop quite as much and the light would be a little bit more, well, it would be flatter. These ledges behind me, you've got loads of scope to play around with compositions, with the wide lens mainly. Now, I've actually moved forward from the spot that I'd intended to shoot originally, because on reviewing the test shots I'd taken, I think Blencathra looks a little small in the shot. I'm always a little bit reluctant to shoot much wider than 17mm unless the foreground is absolutely exceptional. And because Blencathra is such an important part of the scene, I want the mountain to still look like a mountain and not a dot. So we've just come in a little bit further into the scene, and I'm about 20mm, something like that. So the mountain has a little bit more size to it. And all in all, this is, as I said, working really well. I've got the polarizer on. Sun is off 90 degrees to me, which is ideal if you're using a polarizer. Now, I always advocate for people to be a bit sort of careful using polarizers. I think there's a tendency in landscape photography sometimes for people just to use a polarizer all the time. Be selective when you use it. I don't use them all the time, but this is a really good candidate for it because it's improving the contrast and I'm getting really good colour pop in the foreground. Because we're coming into autumn now, these grasses are starting to turn that lovely kind of coppery orangey tone, and it's working really well. I did actually shoot a couple of frames on the way up there. I'll put these on the screen here, shooting towards my favourite little barn there in the distance. You can't really shoot it from the angle I'm at the moment, but on approach to the tarn, when you're shooting more across the fields, you can get some gorgeous layers there. Light was a little harsh, but I think it works pretty well. Another few weeks when the colour's out even more, that'll work really well, that shot. Got about an hour till sunset, so I'm just going to wait it out here a little bit. I've taken a few test shots already, and I've got a couple in the bag that actually I think work pretty well. So if the light does die, at least I've got something to work with. But I'm just going to wait this out, and hopefully this light gets even better. I tell you what, this is going to be pretty close. The sun is just grazing the horizon there above the mountains, and we're getting a little bit of light on the side of the fells in the distance here. Oh, hang about. As soon as I say that, right, this is just lighting up right now, so I'm just going to take this shot. Oh, hang on a sec. Get out of the way there, bloody shadow. Yeah, it's just got out in time for me to light this foreground. I don't know if I'm going to get much more light than this. I'm glad I've got this shot as a nice variation to some of the ones I've got earlier. I'm just praying that the light hits the top of the mountain here as well as the foreground. Now, if it doesn't, it's no big deal. I've got the earlier one as well. It's one of those situations where you start getting a bit picky, and once you get the shot, you're like, oh, well, if it was just hitting this part of the mountain, it'd be great, or if it was just hitting that little bit in the distance. Beggars can't be choosers. This is lovely. So I've got that shot, and I'm just going to wait for this sun to move around a little bit further. I'll just spin you around so you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm waffling away to the camera there. You can just see it there in the distance behind Causey Pike, and as it moves to the right, it's going to fall into a little V there, which should hopefully improve the light in general. So yeah, time to get to work. Right, I think we're done for the evening. I'll just sit myself down here. Yeah, where the sun was setting over there into that V that I was talking about. It's dipped behind the mountain basically. It was a bit lower than I thought it was, but the stuff that I've shot there, I'm really pleased with. I've kind of got what I was after really there, and I will come back up here obviously through the rest of autumn and try and get another shot of it, see if I can improve on it. But if I don't, pretty good result tonight. But yeah, really enjoyed tonight getting back into the photography. I've really missed being out, to be honest, and looking forward to the autumn and winter season. A couple of things just before I go. You'll have saw me in the earlier part of the video packing up those calendars. If you pre-ordered one, then you're in one of these batches that are going out now, so you'll be receiving it soon. If you'd like to get a calendar, I'll put a link in the description for them. I'm only doing one run of them, so once they're gone basically. I do have a few left, but they tend to sell really quickly with them being on general sale in the gallery, in the gallery as well. So yeah, have a look at those if you're interested. And the second thing, now I'll caveat what I'm saying here in that by the time I'm saying this, it might all be completely useless information to you, but my Lake District Autumn 2025 residential workshop dates are now online. I put them up last night. 6 of the 8 spots have gone. They're across 2 dates. There's 2 spaces remaining on the second date. Now, as I say, by the time you're watching this, they might have gone already, but if they're not, I'll put a link in the description and go and take a look at those if you're interested. If you don't see a link in the description, they've obviously gone. But and if you'd like to get on a waiting list for those, head to my website and sign up to my mailing list. But right, now that the light's gone, I think I can go home. Well, not before I've done the big shop, because we need some stuff. So anyway, catch you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later.